First of all, congratulations on being admitted to Loyola University Chicago, and welcome again to this short presentation about the next steps in the admission process for admitted students. This presentation will last about 10 minutes and will quickly guide you through what to expect in the coming months following your acceptance to Loyola. This is a screenshot of your application portal. You might already be familiar with this page since this is where you first logged in to check your application status, add application materials, and see that wonderful admissions letter notification. This portal is still incredibly helpful and a great resource to use moving forward. A couple things I want to point out here. On the right-hand side, you can see this dapper-looking gentleman here who's one of our admissions counselors. Each prospective and admitted student is assigned an individual admissions representative that you can reach out to with any question, big or small. These questions can be about the admissions process, life at Loyola, financial aid, and whatever else you can think of. You can see their direct email address and phone number to use to reach out, and we're all here to help. The next thing I want to point out to you are those 3 green tabs. The first one is Next Steps. This page is continuously updated on what you need to do. You might see information about filling out the free application for federal student aid, or also known as the FAFSA. The FAFSA will be reviewed for need-based aid, student loans through the federal government, federal work study, and more. You'll also see more information about our research and internship opportunities, career services, and this is also where you'll make your deposit. This enrollment and housing deposit is $500 and is 100% refundable until May 1st. This deposit holds your place in the class and allows you to move forward with the rest of the admissions process. The next tab says Admitted Student Events. Here's where you're going to find the opportunity to learn more and register for certain events that are intended just for admitted students. Some of these events will include individual appointments with your admissions counselor, social and informational events like live student panels, current student meetings, and much, much more. The last thing to point out on your application portal page is your Universal ID, or also known as your UVID. Typically, this is the first initial of your first name and your full last name, but not always. Your university ID will be used to log into your Locus account, and we'll talk about Locus in a bit, but you'll want to know that you'll need to follow these instructions that you see here to first initiate your Locus account. After you're admitted, you received an email that was titled Accessing Loyola's Information System. This email had step-by-step instructions on how to get into Locus. Let your admissions counselor know if you need this to be resent to you. Locus is a very secure site. It does have a lot of personal and financial information. The password setup is pretty involved, and we want to keep your data safe. If you run into any trouble, you can reach out to the Undergraduate Admissions Office or Loyola's Information Technology Service Help Desk for any assistance. So we just looked at your student portal, which is really based on your application to Loyola Chicago. Once you decide that Loyola is home for the next 4 years, Locus is what you're going to use to register for classes, check your bill, update your personal information, etc. It's a great resource, and we want to make sure that you're all set up to use it. The web page is luc.edu/locus, and it can also be accessed on our homepage. After you do the self-service setup mentioned before to create your own password, you'll be able to access all this wonderful information. Inside your Locus account, you'll find information on financial aid. Make sure to review your entire financial aid package. This will include any scholarships, grants, federal student loan options, and any federal work study that you might qualify for. Here, you'll be able to accept or decline items of your financial aid package. You'll do so by clicking the Accept Decline tab on the left-hand side, and then the Edit tab that looks like a teeny tiny pencil. After you're through, click Submit, and you're done. You can see the cost of attendance per semester and per year. If you or your family have any questions or concerns or are unsure about all the numbers that you're seeing here, please don't hesitate to reach out to your admissions counselor or anyone in the undergraduate admissions office. Again, we're here to help, and if we can't answer your question for you, we'll put you in touch with someone who can. Now let's talk about housing. Housing forms will be available in your Locus account about 24 hours after making your deposit. Loyola Chicago has a 2-year residency requirement. If you'll be commuting from a parent or legal guardian's residence in Chicago, you can submit your housing exemption form, and you can do this before submitting your deposit. Our Office of Residence Life will review this form and supporting documents and will ultimately decide if you're exempt from living on campus. These exceptions might be more gracious and flexible since the pandemic is still in effect. Loyola Chicago approaches housing placements using a lottery system. It is not first come, first serve. We really want you to consider where you're going to college and not just where you're going to live. You can do a virtual tour of each of our residence halls, and some even offer a full video that include lounge spaces, study spaces, laundry facilities, eateries, and more. You can also request a roommate on this form, or you can use our brief questionnaire to get matched with a roommate. You'll be able to add a roommate or edit your housing forms up until May 1st. Here, you'll also see the option to apply to one of our several living learning communities. Living learning communities are a great way to get connected and live together in a residence hall with other students who share your interests. Some examples are leadership and social change community, a multicultural living community, and also a living green community. You'll take a couple courses together, receive customized support from faculty and staff, and even participate in exciting events related to the theme of the community. So you might take a field trip to the Museum of Science and Industry or attend Lollapalooza for a recycling campaign. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to consider. Lastly, here's where you're going to select your meal plan, and you'll pick a plan from a variety of different meal plans that work best for you, and there's a few to choose from. Students will register for orientation in the month of May using their student portal. We'll talk more about orientation in a bit, but I want to mention too that in May, students will also be notified of placement tests that they may need to complete before orientation. We have placement tests in math, writing, and foreign language. Not all majors will have to take these, and some students that submit standardized test scores, either AP, IB, SAT, or ACT scores, can possibly place into the appropriate level course without taking a placement test. Specific information about placement tests will be shared on your student portal, but you'll access some of these actual tests via Locus. Lastly is immunization forms. Just like when you probably went to high school, you'll need to submit your immunization forms and input your immunization information into Locus. You'll receive more information via email about this process. Here's a quick review of all the important, juicy information on what to do before May 1st. First, review your financial aid package. Please reach out to your admissions counselor if you have any questions about your financial aid package. Next, make your deposit through your student portal. Again, this deposit is completely refundable up until May 1st. Next, submit your housing exemption form or your housing forms after submitting your deposit. Orientation takes place over the summer, and orientation is going to be held online this year. There'll be a few different dates for you to choose from throughout the summer, and registration will begin in May. At orientation, you'll learn more about course registration, academic requirements, and all the different offices on campus that are here to support you during your time as a Rambler. You'll be placed in a small group with other new students and one of our amazing orientation leaders. In this small group, you can ask questions about Loyola life and make some new friends. Before orientation, you'll be asked to complete a form that will help our academic advisors provide course recommendations to you. During orientation, you'll meet staff of the first and second year advising team, and these will be your academic advisors for the start of your LUC experience. As travel advisories and restrictions on large groups change in the city of Chicago, we hope to offer some kind of in-person experience to complement your online orientation. If this is available, we will notify you via email with this news. Before you move in or begin classes at Loyola, we'll need the following. Submit your immunization forms as mentioned before. You'll also need to have your high school send in your final high school transcripts. Please know that these need to be sent to us from your school, along with any community college courses or dual enrollment courses that you took that you want to receive credit for. Next, you'll need to send in your official test scores if you applied with test scores and you self-reported those scores on your application or through your student portal. We'll need to have official copies sent in for verification. Lastly, check out Handshake. It's an on-campus job opportunity portal, kind of like our own version of Monster.com, where you can see and begin applying for on-campus jobs that will begin in the fall. Last but certainly not least are some key dates for the fall 2021 semester to familiarize yourself with. If living on campus, you will move in the week of August 23rd. Which day exactly will be determined by which residence hall you're assigned to, and you'll receive move-in instructions and a packing list over the summer. Classes will begin on Monday, August 30th, with fall break following shortly behind in the month of October. Thanksgiving break will be from November 24th to the 27th, and finals week and the end of the semester will be December 13th through December 18th, and classes will resume on campus for the spring semester on January 17th, 2022. Thank you for listening in. We are thrilled that you have been admitted to Loyola University Chicago and hope to see you on campus this fall. Myself and the entire undergraduate admissions office are here for you and happy to assist anywhere possible. Thanks again, and go Blurs!